So, today I am here at the Galveston Railroad Museum. My first time ever been here. So far I've been liking the inside, but now I have the chance to see all this stuff sitting on display outside. And I think I'm going to do just a quick walk by of all this stuff. Just see how good it looks. I haven't been here before, so just bear with me here. So why don't we just get our tour started? So to start off on our right is an old EMD F7A, number 315. This and another diesel 316, which is located on the other end of this cut, way down there. Apparently they were brought here to replace two other locomotives that were damaged during Hurricane Ike years ago, which was kind of upsetting. I read about that, but it's good to see that these things are still around. Because, truth be told, I do like the F series of locomotives, especially the F7s, and just with how fresh this looks, yeah, this thing's in good hands, for sure. Then, over here, we got we have a good old 460, I believe it's a Mogul. Okay, it's a 10-wheel. I thought there was another name for these things. I remember the name, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But, so yeah, this thing was built in April 1892. So, this thing's, 133 years old? And I gotta say, on the outside, the boiler looks nice, and it looks like the running gear is still good. On the outside, there's a little bit of rust, and okay, its tenders, it's looking good. There's some rust up there, but nothing too big to be concerned about. And up there is the controls and such. I can't get anywhere on it, but oh well. Here, we'll just kind of bounce back and forth between this stuff. I'm not gonna go through these cars on camera because then that's just gonna eat up too much of my memory, but we're just still gonna take a walk along these cars and we're just going to enjoy them. So we got a baggage car built by Pullman, as you can tell by the 3-axle trucks. That's how you could tell that they were a Pullman built product. It really isn't that hard. And okay, on the right here is an old New York Central coach. Truth be told, I'm kind of a fan of the New York Centrals, more specifically with their old steam locomotives like the Hudsons, Mohawks, and Niagaras. But just something about their coaches is just kind of alluring. They look good, and especially these. And let's see the history on this one. Okay, so yeah, it's been around since 1949, so that makes it 76 years old. So yeah, it's definitely seen its days. And then what's it say here? Okay, yeah, it was around for only 10 years before the Central retired and it went into private service. Just, wow. Well, you were not in service for long, and here you are decades later. Got this other coach right here. We'll learn more about it as we go along. And here we got ourselves another baggage car. Okay, the name George H. Gould. Yep. Yeah, we're about to find out what that is. Okay, built by Bud for the Penzie. Ooh boy. Yeah, we got a couple competitors here. As we all know how the New York Central and the Penzie merger went down, right? Okay, with the music playing, we're just going to continue onwards. Next, we got a Santa Fe diner car, City of Galveston. Okay, built in '48 and ran with the Texas Chief. I hadn't even taken a look at these emblems. I mean, that actually looks quite nice. I mean, you guys really did good for yourselves. You really did. Okay. Ooh, a Southern Railway niter car. Okay, operated on Slachetka Crescent, Southerner, Tennessee, and Royal Palm. And remained in service until 1975, into the days of Amtrak. Okay. And it was badly damaged by an onboard fire. Well, I mean, it looks good, so repairs went nicely. So, yeah, but it's good that it's still around. Okay, so yeah, this is just how far we've came so far. But next up, we got this over here. We're gonna find out what it is in just a sec. We got ourselves another baggage car, another Pullman built, as you can tell by the trucks. Let's see. Yep, as you can tell, a Louisville and Nashville car. The L&N is just something different to me. I mean, it's different, but I like it. And let's see, it came to the museum in 1978 and served as a kitchen for a restaurant. And it was restored after being damaged by Hurricane Ike. But I gotta say, I mean, it's good that it's living out its prime here. Now on to you. Alonzo H. Harder. Well, let's just see what this is all about. Okay, yeah, this stuff we'll take a look at in just a minute. Okay, another Penty built coach. Well, coach built for the Penty, you get what I mean. And let's... Okay, yeah, it even says it's briefly served Penn Central before going into service with Amtrak, so... I guess it's okay that it's... I mean, I feel sad that this thing served under Penn Central because we all know how bad that turned out. And then going into Amtrak early on, they weren't too good. But again, it seems all right living out its days here. And let's see, yeah, we'll get to these two comic cars in just a second. But first, we're gonna check this out. Yeah, this I've looked up online a little bit. Yeah, this is a GP38AC. But I wanted to learn more about this unit specifically, so yeah, we're about to find out. Okay, yep, built by EMD for the Frisco in 1971, just before Amtrak came to be. And it was donated here only 5 years ago, so you know, with this thing being almost 55 years old, you know, like, well, it's good that it's here, but I feel sorry for the condition that it's in. I mean, you can barely see the one number board up there, and okay, yeah, it's missing one of its ditch lights, and the Cascade green is a little bit faded, but coming along, this I noticed. And I personally have not seen one of these before, yet this is a non-turbocharged 16-cylinder 645 E3 engine, capable of 2,000 horsepower. I mean, I don't know what it is, but when it comes to locomotives being opened up and seeing what powers them, I mean, this I like. This is something that I would absolutely love to see more. All right, so I've come back over here because I wanted to get a good view of these two comet coaches. So yeah, these definitely served somewhere out along the northeast for quite a while, and we're just about to learn exactly its history. notice neither of them have their history boards out here. Maybe I have to go into the cars just to see them, but other than that, because yeah, I'd want to say that with this paint, I'd want to say they serve for the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority. I'd want to say maybe, because it's just the red paint gives it away. I mean, it really does just make it that obvious. Oh, but where are my manners? I forgot about these cars over here. Now, when it comes to cars with this emblem, the Santa Fe Plus logo, I mean, I personally like this. I don't know what it is, but it's just with how it looks on rolling stock, I mean, it just seems right. It's like it was built to be in this scheme. Let's just take a look at its history real quick, then we'll continue on, because I'd like to take a look at everything else here. All right, continuing on. All right, next up is this. Let's see, Western Fruit Express. Okay, so this was an early version of a refrigerator car where you had to have huge chunks of ice in here just so that the product would stay cold. Thankfully, technology has advanced a lot since it was built. And so, yeah, you wouldn't see these out on the rails anymore. You would see these in other museums, but it is good to know that it's still here. Now, next up, we got another boxcar, and its history is with, okay, the Southern Pacific as a steel saber. Ah, all right. And of course, something I've noted on this car and others is, look at the wheels they run on. These are journal boxes instead of roller bearings. These would have enough grease to roll for some period, and then you'd have to stop and re-lubricate these, because with typical roller bearings, they re-grease themselves. These you had to re-grease yourself, otherwise they would become hot and things could go bad really quick. Moving onwards now. All right, next up is this old boxcar. It's a Rio Grande boxcar. Something I didn't exactly think I'd see here, but okay. I mean, its journal boxes are really rusted out, but it seems to still be enjoying life here, other than being filled with, in my opinion, what looks like garbage, but that's probably just used for storage, whatever it is. You guys, here's some more history on it. And then this is something that I noticed when I first walked around, just to get an idea of what's here. See, an old Rock Island tender. Yeah, and I don't think you guys can tell, but right in there it says Army, because this was built for the U.S. Army during World War II. Because really back then, you couldn't just build steam locomotives fully the right way because it takes so long to do it. I mean, it's essentially piecing together a locomotive by the cheap, but ensure that it works well enough just to keep wartime traffic rolling. So, I guess that's good to know. And before we take a look at this other F unit here in a minute, here we got this really rusty crane from the Rock as well. Well, all right. Yeah, it's just I kind of feel bad for these cars, because yeah, even though they're safe here, it's just they're so old and rusting away. Like, I don't know how much longer these cars can stand just on their own weight, because I've heard of cars getting so old and not taken care of to the point where they actually begin breaking apart. But this caboose right here looks in a lot better shape. Okay, yeah, here, these are roller bearings. I mean, these they will re-grease themselves, as opposed to those journal boxes there. Okay, yeah, this was built the same year that the Santa Fe was using steel cabooses instead of old wooden ones. I had actually watched an old video on these recently, because the cupola for these cabooses could be either at the center or like at the very end of a caboose. Oh, I guess that's nice, I suppose. Okay, and then I don't know the history of this, but, and again, I feel sorry for this. I mean, it's rusting away in certain spots. I mean the trucks are worn, they're rusted out. But yeah, I imagine these guys need to do quite a bit of restoration work on this to give it a good look as a display. I can understand that maybe a cosmetic display, a cosmetic restoration is what this museum could probably do, and I understand it costs quite a bit, but I mean, but yeah. Now we're making our way back. We got this Rio Grande flat car with a big old box on it, and this old coach, again another Pullman build because the trucks. Okay, yeah, so that's that coach. I didn't walk along it because it took me like 2 minutes to walk along it, because I was just looking at some of the more intricate details underneath. But yeah, here's the other Santa Fe F unit that's on display here, as 315 is on the other end of this thing. And again, just the war bonnet scheme on this is just nice. I really do like it. And then, of course, what's it say here? Okay, yeah, it too. I came here to the museum to replace the Texas Limited engines that were destroyed during Hurricane Ike. And if I saw correctly on one of the other cars down there, that happened in like 2008. So they've been here roughly 17 years. So it's good that these guys are living out retirement life, or just being here in general. And now we're just gonna make our way back and then walk around the other side. I mean, there's really not a whole lot more out here that I can really show, because really there's not a whole lot to display here. But here, okay, yep, starting from here on, I'm going to just cut it until I go around to the other side, then we'll finish up. So I'll catch you guys on the flip side in just a minute. Alright, now that I've made my way back, we're gonna check out the other side here real quick. I haven't been over here. So we're just gonna check out what's over here, because I think this is all that I have left to cover. So here we got, let's see what we got here. Okay, we got a two-way O consolidation type, built in 1922. So, you know, this thing's 103 years old, and it came to the museum in 1978. So, been here for 47 years and has operated on excursion trains. It operated on excursion trains until 93, and it's just really been here since. Let's see how this thing looks. We'll get to these cars in just a moment, but I just want to do one side at a time because it just makes things all the easier. So we're passing 555. We're going to an old IC car, Okay, this scheme I really like. This kind of scheme is what the IC Heritage unit that CN has should have looked like. It really should have. Okay, yep, it was a rail post office car. It was used for quite a long time, and it too was heavily damaged during Ike. Yeah, Ike, you really must have damaged a lot of this stuff here, didn't you? Alright, so sorry about that. Just had a few people walking by. But now we're just going to continue on walking along these cars. Okay, yeah, like I said, these guys we'll get to in just a minute. Okay, and this is an actual, of course, Pullman coach, because apparently these cars were so good that Pullman just wanted these cars on trains. Yep. Okay, yep. Built by Pullman for the Central in July 26. So this thing's nearly 100 years old. And one of two surviving cars from the first American Freedom train. Nice. And yeah, there's a picture of what it looked like. But I heard that back then it received so much... there was a lot of arguing against that thing going around because things were different during that time. But overall, I mean, just look at how beautiful this thing is. I mean, just really. I mean, I personally would have loved to have seen either of the American Freedom trains before, whether it be the one from 47 or 76. The one in 76 is a whole lot better, that I'm sure we all can agree on, but either way, just to see something like this that was on the AFT, it's just so cool. And now we have, of course, another Pullman car, the Mount Darwin. Let's just see the history on it. Okay, an observation car. Yep, another Pullman build in 24. So, yep, 101 years old. It was okay, and okay, I actually read up on this documentary, because I used to live in the Downers Grove area, which was along the same line this accident happened on. And I watched the documentary to this. I'm like, this is just so freaking cool that I could see this car that was involved in that wreck. I mean, because it's not that often that I get to see a locomotive or a car that was involved in an accident. I mean, I've seen a few, but with this being one of them, I mean, this is just so freaking amazing. Now, okay, I think the other two of these are Pullman cars as well. So let's just see what's going on. Okay, yeah, this was, but I didn't see any information on the outside, but clearly this ran under Amtrak because, well, obviously it's right there. So part of Amtrak's rolling stock. Probably wasn't the best, but that's what they had. And now, one more coach and then some old rusty freight cars over here. Then we're gonna start making our way back. I think I can walk along the path there to see this, but then afterwards we're gonna make our way back and we're gonna go inside the gift shop and get some. Okay, at least there was some information on this. So it was an old CN car, and of course it is a Pullman build, but I'm not gonna go into details. And this I just happened to notice. A couple of these old Horizon cars just sitting here. I mean, I had no idea that these were even here. Because I read the news about these saying that all the ones that Amtrak currently has in service have been withdrawn due to corrosion issues on the trucks, from what I heard. But it's nice to see a couple of these here. I had no idea that these would be here, so this is new to me. So, continuing onwards. Okay. Alright, so we'll continue on. Okay, I didn't see any plaque on this car, but yeah, it's old and rusted. We love old and rusted here. It's how we know them as part of history. Okay, and I don't know what it is, but when it comes to these particular tank cars, when it comes to like model train sets, I personally like these. I don't know what it is, but it's just the design of these smaller tank cars compared to the modern tank cars of today. It just, I don't know, I like them. And what's next? We have a KCS gondola. Okay, something I didn't expect to see here, but okay, it's had quite a life. Then, okay, yeah, this was the coach that you guys saw from a little bit ago. I personally would like to see something like this being used in private car service, but with its condition, I can understand why. It's good that it's protected here, but still, just to see something this antique and just rusting away in such a shape, like, it kind of does, I don't know, it's just touching. And then, of course, here's that flat car again. Okay, something very notable. And what's it say about this flat car? Wow, so this car really has quite some significance to it. Yeah, would be upset if anyone messed with this. And then over there, looks like an old Fairbanks Morse locomotive. I personally was not a fan of Fairbanks Morse units. I don't know what it is, but it's just, they seem rather ugly to me. Sorry to throw shade at you, but you could have done better. And now to make our way back. All right, now we've made our way back. This is going to be the end of the tour here very shortly, following these three pieces. This is an 80 tonner. Like, I was thinking it was like a 50 tonner, but I don't know. It just, all these things look really, really similar. Look at its shape. It looks so much a lot alike, like its counterparts. Okay, and a Mopac caboose. Like, I don't like saying the full name sometimes, but see, what's the history on you? Oh, okay, you're built by Mopac in 1980, so yeah, this thing's a lot newer than most of this stuff here. So yeah, this thing's 45 years old, and I don't know what it is, but the Mopac emblem just really looks nice. It really does. I think the only other time that I've seen something like this was on the back of a few work trains on UP tracks. So that's just something. That's the only time I've seen one of those. Now, as for this, I'd say the last bit of our tour here at the museum is this. Okay, with the name Silverfoot. See, there any info on you? Yep. Okay, it's a private rail car for invited guests only. Okay. Well, everyone, this has been the tour of the Galveston Railroad Museum. I hope you all like what you saw in this following video. Make sure to hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, and leave a comment down below, because I'd really like to hear what you guys have to say about all these pieces. And would I like to come here again? I absolutely would. So, again, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video.